Do you think I'm a racist?
Oh, what a week in the Big Brother house. It was time for Kyle to go in Thursday's episode after Michael and Brittany exposed his racist assumption that all the POC house guests were working together in a secret alliance, despite all evidence to the contrary. But first, there were some really raw and meaningful conversations about race.
It should have been you who left, not Joseph.
So let's talk about what went down. I'm Anna Rumor, and this is Pop Culture Social Call. We pick up after Kyle learned that Michael and Brittany had unearthed his Cookout 2.0 theory. And while he initially denies even bringing up the Cookout, which we've watched him do a number of times, he eventually admits maybe he said something he didn't realize was problematic. Kyle then talks to Monty and Terrence, and while he tries to explain his thought process,
I just thought that group could unify under we all have a core purpose of being here.
Monty and Terrence are like, listen dude, that is all BS.
I think the thought process is solely based on race, and that's the part that's tough.
It was really good to see the conversation between Monty and Kyle later in the episode too. Monty talks about being subject to racism throughout his life, and it was very powerful, very raw.
I could have accepted anything, bro.
Yeah.
If you wanted to work with everybody but me, I would have been fine with that. But for it to have been attached to my race.
Now, Kyle does seemingly realize the errors of his way pretty quickly, which is good. Personal growth is the goal. But it's frustrating that this 29-year-old man is relying on the black house guest to do the emotional labor of educating him when, come on, it's 2022.
As a black woman in this world, I don't get the chance or opportunity, privilege, if you will, to be sat down and walk through these things.
It's also frustrating that Monty, Taylor, and Terrence are in a position where they might feel like they have to be grace-filled about this whole situation when they're the victims. It's also worth noting at this point, Monty isn't buying Michael and Brittany's kind of moral pitch as to why they spilled the information. He thinks it's clearly strategic, and I don't disagree. Monty even tells Taylor at one point they've got to take a shot at Michael the next chance they get, or he's walking away with the win. I'm not sure how on board she is, though. She and Michael are pretty tight. The house then all comes together for a big meeting, and Kyle admits he was acting from a place of racial bias. Although he did play up the I'm just a little boy from Utah angle a little bit much for me.
I'm kind of a naive person. I've been living in a bubble. I've never been to a bar. Like, I don't have these life experiences.
Michael, meanwhile, is like, yeah, I told people about it a little late, but I didn't say it like Kyle did.
It's not fair for you to be the one making these comments and then say, well, why didn't you do something?
Terrence isn't buying it, though.
It's like a huge disrespectful slap in the face.
Monty and Taylor remind the house that this conversation isn't even about the game right now, and while they don't hate Kyle, it's definitely time for him to go.
The only consequence I want you to feel for this, personally, would be eviction from the house.
And he does, in a 5-0 vote after replacing Brittany on the block, but not before Alyssa breaks up with him, seemingly.
You never fought for me. At the end of the day, like, you would have picked yourself over me for sure.
And thus, the Kyle chapter of the season comes to an end. I'm a little shocked at how positive of a send-off he got after everything that went down in the house, but I'm not shocked that Terrence, Monty, and Taylor are now absolutely suspicious of Michael and Brittany for how things went down. Will this mean a change in alliances and targets? Maybe. But first, we've got a new HOH that's all gonna conclude Sunday, plus we get Zingbot. Thank God, we need a little levity in this season. I'll be with you for the rest of the season, so like and subscribe on our channel, let me know what you think in the comments, and head over to popculture.com for the latest in entertainment news. Until next time, I'm Anna Rumor, and this is Pop Culture Social Call.